I'm at 12077 Freestone Court. This is like Forest Park area. We're doing the sanitary lateral inspection on the for a home purchase, and we're looking for any structural issues, root intrusion, anything that may be of concern to the buyer. So we are going to be accessing the line from a floor clean out right here on the floor. If you come down to the steps, there's a door to your right, and then right inside that door there's a clean out right before the line exits the house. You can see there's a clean out there. I'm trying to clean off the camera here. But we're going to try to go through, there's a stack back here, and I just want to show that there's a stack here, and you can see the rust going down it. So we didn't want to access that. We didn't want to access that clean out due to the condition of that rust, or due to the condition of the pipe with the rust and everything. So just because opening that spot just could put more force on that area than is needed. And so we're going to go down through this cast iron clean out, and I'm going to try to go backwards, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to, because this is a sweep basically that goes towards the street. It's only about 10 feet of cast iron here that we won't be able to inspect, and it will be flow tested and stuff, and we'll do that as we go. So one thing that I always want to mention with cast iron is you never really know, how much life you have in cast iron due to the material. It is cast iron, so it does rust, and so it's pretty hard to tell whether you got 10 years or 50 years left with this stuff, just due to the material, obviously. But you can usually get an idea if it's thin or something like that if you see the outside. But once this exits the house, it should change material, which it has. We've already got to that point. So this is cast iron, and then we drop out, and it looks like this is concrete, which is normal for the age of the house. Concrete's a pretty good material. I mean, it does wear away. As you can tell, it does wear away slowly, just by the little bit of exposed aggregate. The stone and stuff that's in the concrete, you can kind of see where the flow line is, where it just kind of slowly wears away that thin top layer to expose more aggregate. But concrete is a sturdy material, obviously. And so you'll see the joints here. It's usually 3 to 4 foot sections of this, and so you do have a lot of seams. And so one of the biggest things you see with concrete is root intrusion. There was not a tree in the front yard, so that could be good. I didn't see one close enough to be able to grow over into this line. And so far, this line looks great. I expect this to be under 100 feet. There's a little bit of water here, and hopefully on the way back, because we're pushing into it, and so we're pushing water up in front of the camera lens. But that camera lens is only about ½ an inch off the bottom of the pipe, so it's not a lot. And the fact that this line has been sitting empty, I don't know how long the house has been empty, but it looks that based off of everything with this line, this house has been sitting empty for quite And so there's still some stuff. So what we're gonna do is I think the line just needs to be flushed out, even if it's just under normal use. It feels like I'm pushing some materials out of the way. It could just be normal, like toilet paper and stuff. Just left it in here if we had somebody who lived here. So I think I'm going to go turn some water on upstairs, just to try to help get the camera out further. So I'm going to pause the video for a second. I'm going to go upstairs. Well, for some reason the monitor is not responding. Okay, normally the line will, I would pause the video in these situations so you didn't have dead airspace while I was running to turn the water on. But when we've had the monitor is just not responding. Sometimes it does this if it's updating software or something. And so I'm expecting to get some water here soon, but I haven't seen any real flow yet. It should pick up. little bit. So I'm going to try to see if we can get a little further here. So, sorry about that. I guess it did finally pause. I finally woke up and then paused the video for just a second. You can tell it was short just by the time indicator on the top left corner. Here comes the flow of water down the line. Hopefully we start seeing some solids and stuff also come past us that we were mentioning before. Rough to push, most likely because of it being concrete pipe, so it's kind of like pushing along sandpaper. But we're hoping that water flow will help us. So what we're going to do here is probably off the property at this point. We want to try to get all the way to the main. But it seems like we're up against something. Let's not go any further. So, I'm going to pause the video and go up and get a locate to find out exactly where we are. If we are off the property, we've gone beyond the responsibility of the homeowner. And so we just want to verify that before we try to go any further. That way we know that we've already inspected enough of the line to anything beyond the property would be the responsibility of Okay, so we are off the property. We're actually only a couple feet from the main. I think that you can see a connection up there, and if I can get it to go just a few more feet here by doing this, you'll see the opening into the main. I'm in the middle of the street, and so just for so we know what's exactly, you can see. Show you exactly where the main is. And there it is right in front. If you can kind of see off in the distance, just a hair. You can see the back side of the crossing pipe, which is the main. So, it's just barely inching here, so we want to, but it's taking 10 minutes to get 2 feet there. And there you go. You can see the opening into the cross pipe, which is the sewer main. And so we have made it all the way to the main. And you turn the locator off so it doesn't interfere with the image. But you can see that we made it all the way out. We're hoping that we kind of, yeah, so you can see the solids making their way down the pipe, and that's what we're looking for, just kind of flush the line out. So the line looked great. I didn't see any structural issues. And see, as you can tell, once you stop, you can, since it's gotten rid of these solids like that, and it's flushing over the line, you don't really have, you can kind of tell that with the water running, sometimes it flashes over the camera head, but you don't even have enough. Yeah, see, there's another solid, and that's from probably the last person to use the restroom before the house was moved out of. But versus when we pushed out, you know, this is, you can actually see everything even with the water running, which is what you want to see. Yeah. I do want to mention while we're doing this that with having cast iron in the house, you want to, even if you have brand new pipe, you want to avoid using any kind of wet wipes. You just want to use toilet paper and obviously natural materials there. But wet wipes do not break down as much as they say flushable. And with having cast iron pipes, with the rust on them, it can very easily catch one of those wet wipes. And unlike toilet paper, the wet wipes do not break down. And so if you ever want to do an experiment, you can take a wet wipe in one hand and toilet paper in the other hand, run it underneath the sink in the bathroom, underneath the water, and watch the toilet paper disintegrate, which is what it's designed to do, so that even if it catches on something, it will eventually break down into small pieces and make its way down the line. The wet wipes will not do that. They'll catch, and they won't break down in the water like toilet paper, so they tend to start clogs, and they will build, stuff will build up behind it, and then you'll have a backup in your basement. So if you're going to use the wet wipes, just throw them in the trash. But the line here looks great. See this little bit of cast iron, we're about ready to pull back up into the clean out. And this cast iron at this point looks nice and open. It doesn't look real bad. You could tell it was dry when I first went into it, just because I don't think there's been water run in here for quite a while. But the line itself looks really good structurally. And I would go backwards, but I really can't, but I can't because of the structure of the pipe. It's falling off right here at this connection. So there's only about, you know, 7 to 10 feet here that I'm unable to inspect, which I mentioned earlier because of I didn't want to take the chance of opening that access on the stack just due to the exterior condition. Looks like maybe a toilet flange or something was leaking above, and water's been running down the pipe, and so I didn't want to take a chance of putting any pressure on that clean out there, and risk damaging the base of that stack. So, but everything looked good. The line was fully functioning. There were no obstructions, no root intrusion. All the joints looked nice and tight, and so everything looked good. So that'll end the inspection at 12077 Freestone Court.